Tons of room for activities. I love how spacious the cockpit of this 43-foot boat is. It's got one thing I really like here, and that's the forward-facing nav station. I think that this is any techie person's dream. What's up, guys? Today I've got for you a tour of an incredibly unique Neel 43. Now, this is a very interesting boat, and I had a lot of fun taking the tour. So if you're enjoying these videos, remember to like and subscribe. It helps us a lot. And without further ado, let's get to the tour. Looking at the aft end of the boat, immediately we see the location of the life raft right there under that deck portion, and above that there are mounts for a dinghy. Stepping aboard, I love how spacious the cockpit of this 43-foot boat is. Helm station up there on the starboard side, and we're going to start this tour by going over to the starboard aft section of the boat. Each of the 3 transoms is sugar scooped for easy access on and off the boat and in and out of the water. Looking forward, under these steps here is a pretty large storage compartment. Let's take a look. Lots of storage down here. And also some oddly integrated flotation foam. Not sure what that's about. Safety going forward looks good because there's these integrated coach roof handholds going all the way forward. That's pretty cool. And nice wide side decks clear of obstructions. I also wonder if the handhold trench on the coach roof can double as rain catchment. There's a hatch to the starboard side bow locker / single berth right here. And going forward all the way to the starboard side bow, looking over to the port side. Tons of room for activities. Walkable solar panels on the front of the coach roof there. Looking up the rig. She's got 2 head sails, so she's cutter rigged. I like to see that. You got options for your head sail configurations. So there's 2 furling head sails up there on the bow, and we are going to go forward. Chain locker up here on the bow. Nice big chain locker. Room for other stuff in there as well. And looking to port. Port side bow right there. I think it's a good looking boat. Lots of visibility through these windows right here from the main salon and from the nav station. Stepping over another access hatch into another storage compartment and or single berth, and going aft. Looking at the port side aft section here, another storage compartment, and then there is a cutout section of the hard bimini right here, just so you can easily get in and out of the cockpit. Looking into the storage compartment. Again, tons of good storage all around, and I don't really see that flotation foam in this side. Here's the port side sugar scoop, and we've got a swim ladder on this side. Coming back into the cockpit here. Again, just a really big cockpit, especially for a 43-foot boat like this. I mean, just a big exterior table and a lot of room for you to hang out outside and under the protection of the hard bimini. It's really nice. Heading up to the helm station here, there's everything you need to sail the boat right here. All of the lines lead back to this helm, and there's a bench here big enough for 3 people to sit. As you can see, all of those lines going through clutches to the 2 winches right here, 2 electric winches. And looking up, you can see your sails through the bimini, and overall good visibility from the helm. There's also a bow thruster because since this is a trimaran, there is a single engine in the main hull. I also wanted to quickly mention that I'm not a fan of this chain plate and shroud position right next to the helm station like this, but I'll talk about more on that later in the video. Just to add some perspective, I'm at the helm position here, and I like it. I like it. It feels good. You've got visibility all around the boat, and you've got protection up above you. You've got roll down canvas as well. So it's pretty good, and it's not too it's not too separated from the main living area. You can kind of look down there and see it, so I like it a lot. There's also a forward-facing helm station in the salon that you can use as well while you're on watch, so that's really nice. Let's go take a look. Heading into the main salon, and wow, it's massive for a 43-foot boat. So that keeps with the theme of, you know, just tons of space on this platform for cruising. It's got one thing I really like here, and that's the forward-facing nav station. I love that. And then you've got a big salon table right here. It's basically an interior continuation of what was going on outside. I guess having the compression post right here isn't ideal, but obviously it's necessary. Now, I think the galley design definitely could be better, but that's a trade-off. For a boat that provides this much accommodation elsewhere, the galley seems a little small. The main cabin is right there to starboard, so I imagine that's the biggest limiting factor on the size of the galley. There's a full head here with a shower as well, and then behind the actual marine toilet is a curtain and the black tank right there. So that's a little odd, but you know, it is a big head. It's also the only head on the boat, so that's also a little odd just given the amount of berths that are on this boat as well. Forward of the head and to the starboard of the galley is the main cabin, and it is a big one. And unlike catamarans, on this trimaran, the main cabin is up on the bridge deck, so you know, you get a lot of room and a full queen size island berth, which is really nice. I also think you get a lot of light and you're not too far from all of the action, but the trade-off to that is there's not as much privacy. Heading back out into the main salon and turning forward, there is another cabin right there forward in the main hull, right in the bow, after that bow locker. And looking down into that, there are some molded fiberglass steps down and also some molded fiberglass shelves on either side. Seems to be pretty simple down here, but it looks like a cozy place for one or potentially two people to sleep. And looking to port, the forward-facing nav station is directly to port of the companionway down into the main hull. Again, just a really big, nice open area up here. Heading to that forward-facing nav station. I really like this. This is my favorite part of the boat. So we're definitely going to come back to this in a minute. Looking to port. We have our final double cabin that is in this area here. Remember, we've got those two single cabins that are up forward on the boat as well. They're pretty small, but they're there. So lots of sleeping arrangements on this 43-foot boat. All right, guys, just to add a little bit more perspective, I'm sitting right here at the forward-facing nav station. I've got good views all around. I can actually see through the main cabin as well if the blinds are open. You can see behind me, good views all around. And I can navigate from right here in the main salon, fully protected. Now, some people have criticized the location of that cabin right there, the fact that it doesn't really have much privacy, but I love it, and here's why. Randy and I have two little ones, okay? How perfect would it be for us to have this layout? The kids can be sleeping right here. I could be on watch right here and have them in full view. I absolutely love this, and I love the out-of-the-box thinking, so it's awesome. Finally, one of the coolest parts of this boat is going to be the engine and the technical room, and you access it right here. So coming down from the main salon, you've got a huge technical room down here. There's plenty of access to all of your equipment. It's absolutely amazing. And then back in the aft section here is the diesel engine. Guys, another thing I want to say, I just love this engine room. Look at how big this engine room is. Now, it's an engine slash technical room, and I think that this is any techie person's dream. I mean, you've got beautiful access to all of the equipment down here, everything you need. This is Really, really cool and very unique. All right, guys, I'm up here in the forward cabin in the main hull. So kind of the V-berth cabin, and we're gonna start the full continuous below decks walkthrough from bows to sterns. All right, guys, so I've got a few things to say about this boat. I think this is a really, really cool boat, a very unique boat, and you know, there's gonna be things that some people are gonna really like, and there's gonna be things that some people are really not gonna like because it's so different from, you know, kind of what you're used to. I'll start with the good, and I think there's plenty of good for this boat, and that is for me and for a small family. I absolutely love the layout. I mentioned it in the tour, but I love the fact that, you know, the cabin that our kids would be in is visible from, you know, the bridge deck and from the nav station. That is so good for safety. When you're on watch, you're always gonna wanna know where your kids are, and that's an easy way to always get eyes on them and to know where they are when you're sailing. Also, the way that's designed, when they're in the cabin there, not only can you see them, but they have to go right by you if they were gonna leave that cabin if you were at the nav station there on watch. So, you know, it's as safe as it can be. Having the main cabin up is a little bit odd, but I believe that's characteristic of these Neels. It gives you a pretty big main cabin. If it was down in one of the hulls, it would be really narrow and not very big at all. The head is nice and big and usable and centrally located on the boat. Generally, what I really liked is that there was an ample amount of sleeping accommodations, so this boat can really support, you know, definitely a couple. I think it's really built for a family. I absolutely loved that engine room and that technical room. The fact that the back half of the main hull is basically that entire dedicated space is really good. That's also central on the boat, so having all the heavy stuff down there is a good idea. Access is amazing. As you guys saw, I was able to get down in there and you can access whatever you need. So that's a huge plus for this boat, and I believe most Neels are like this as well, so huge plus for Neel. There's tons of exterior space, tons of room in the cockpit. That is just awesome. All that being said, I loved the layout. I love the way the boat looks. I think it's a good looking boat, and I think it's really usable. So I think this could be a great boat that fits what a lot of people might want in a cruiser. Performance-wise, she's not gonna be as fast as something like a Dragonfly or a Corsair, but you know, obviously she has way more accommodation. So that's the trade-off there. And the last really good thing I think about this boat is the price. So I think you guys are gonna be surprised at how much boat you get for the money. Neels are, you know, pretty well priced for what they are. I also feel that it seems like Neel is improving a little bit on their build quality, so that's another good thing. So I talked about the good, which I think this boat has a lot more good than bad, but there were a couple things that concerned me a little bit about this boat. The location of the shrouds in relation to the helm. The starboard shrouds were right there at the helm. And to me, I don't really like the fact that there's big loaded up wires right there where I'm standing at the helm. If you're standing there and something were to happen and you lost your mast, what's gonna happen to that wire being so close to you? I don't know. Another thing I thought that was odd was in one of those compartments there was just like, you know, styrofoam stuffed in there, and it was like just kind of loose EPS styrofoam. It didn't really seem very solid or very structurally sound. I'm assuming it was there for flotation. Basically, it could be done better and more permanently. Kind of seemed like an afterthought. But anyway, overall, I liked the boat. I think she had a lot more positives than negatives, and it's always nice to see things that are different from what you normally see. So I like that a lot as well. I'm gonna put more information on the Neel 43 as well as Neel trimarans down in the description below, as well as an approximate MSRP for this boat. That's gonna be it for this one. Please leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell if you wanna know each and every time we drop a video. See you guys.
I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned